Okay, so here's the summary on Marshall McLuhan. He says that society is shaped by the type of media it consumes, not the content delivered. Some media engage our imagination a lot, and others a little. Movies provide visual, sound, etc., but a book requires you to fill in the blanks, working your imagination. The strength of our imagination depends on which media we consume the most. Media are like languages. Maybe I should say is like languages. Media is like languages. The content...
No, but media would be plural.
Like many medias, because you wouldn't say many medias?
I can't tell.
That's a tough...
Media.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because media is like saying records. Records
are like languages.
Are like language.
So then it is right. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Because you can't say medias.
Right. What if you said the media is like...
Language. The media would be is, and then media are like languages.
I like that the media has a the that can be used before it. Like,
up to you.
Like there are medias, and then there's the media.
Yeah.
Like,
either way.
Like, am I the media or am I just media? Like
both.
Like SNL is definitely the media, right?
No.
No?
Because SNL isn't a media. It's not a channel of media. It's part of the media.
Of the media.
Yeah.
But it's like part of the media.
It's part of the media.
But it's not part of media.
No.
Like
television is, but not Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the is like how official the media or media is.
Yeah.
Okay, so media are like languages. The content these media deliver is irrelevant to the media's effects. TV can show Sesame Street or violence, but the imagination is still engaged the same amount. McLuhan uses the examples of machinery. He said machines are used to assist work. The worker can be making anything, and the effect is still the same, aiding work. We cannot blame content for its flaws in society, only the media languages that shape it. What does that mean? You cannot blame content for the...
Cannot blame content. So let's say we blame content for... This is how I take it. If we blame content for why someone killed someone else, like they're influenced by a movie, I take it to mean that like you can't blame the movie, but you can blame the way that that person watches movies. I could be wrong. That's not.
Yeah, I think you're right, because he's saying, it's how you use your imagination in the...
Yeah.
So, yeah, going back to the John Lennon thing, I guess, he could have consumed Lennon's media and interpreted it in a way that would have made him a peaceful, loving guy.
Exactly. That's my guess.
But instead, his imagination shaped the media and how its effect on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is also really advocating books. I think it's, because he says, movies provide visual, sound, etc., but a book requires you to fill in the blanks using your imagination. And then he says the strength of our imagination depends on which media we consume most. So I guess is he saying here, like, you want a stronger imagination, consume a media that forces you to use more of it?
I don't know if he's got an opinion on it. I think he's just saying that it forces you to fill in the blanks, but it doesn't make it necessarily better. And if he were alive today, I'm sure he would argue also that like there are other media where you still have to fill in the blanks. In fact, there are movies where you used to fill in the blanks. And
I remember when I was a kid, like there were these certain stories that like you feel really close to, like James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but just that one, when you're a kid, it really excites your imagination. And you're like, that's one of my stories. That's like, that's a story that's mine. Yeah. And then when that movie came out, James and the Giant Peach, even though it was a well-done movie, I remember being mad, like, inside being like, that's not how it looked.
Yeah, everyone must have experienced that, except for people who didn't know the book.
Right. Because now, like, one person's imagination of the book is going to wipe everybody else's imagination of the book.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah. And then now I can't remember how I originally imagined it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't force your imagination.
It's a composite, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have here a short paragraph from Marshall McLuhan. Can I ask you to read the paragraph here?
With the arrival of technology, man has set outside himself a live model of the central nervous system. It is a development that suggests a desperate suicidal auto-amputation, as if the central nervous system could no longer depend on the physical organs to be protective buffers against the slings and arrows of outrageous mechanism. Wow.
I'm probably going to have to hear that again because it was too much for me to process all at once.
With the arrival of technology, man has set outside himself a live model of the central nervous system. That can even apply to the internet, right?
Okay.
The nervous system. It is a development that suggests a desperate suicidal auto-amputation. As if the central nervous system could no longer depend on the physical organs to be protective buffers against the slings and arrows of outrageous mechanism. That's a complicated one.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like that this, let's say it's the internet, that...
which he predicted.
Yes, apparently.
Yeah.
That suggests that it could live without us. Like it could be its own living being. That's how I see it, right? It doesn't depend on physical organs. It's like, really like artificial intelligence. What does he mean? I don't know. That it exists that way? I guess it suggests a desperate suicidal auto-amputation. So like maybe for some reason it wants to cut itself off. I don't know what he means. It exists. Sure it does. But
yeah.
But on the other hand, I mean, we're all still here and the physical organs are still here, but that's what I take from it.
I talked to my brother yesterday about technology, about like all these apps, and I love these apps. I have this app where I photograph everything I eat now before I eat it, so that I'm really conscious of my eating, and I've been losing weight, and it's been really good just being cognizant of like, oh, I'm about to eat this much. Maybe I won't eat another thing because I already took this photograph, you know? And I was like telling my brother, I'm like, these apps, they just make my life so much better. And he's like, yeah, but they can also destroy you. They can make you like not think as much. They can make you like, they could take you, because my brother's anti-technology, doesn't have a Facebook or anything. And like, he's barely ever on the computer. And if you Google him, there's no trace of him on the internet. He doesn't exist. He only exists in the real world. And he's like, I'd rather just be present. I don't need to take a picture.
But clearly that's like, for every person, there's just a different example of what works for them and what doesn't.
Right.
There's someplace in between too, by the way, you know?
Yeah. So he's on a different extreme end of it, but his point is just the technology can really dumb you down, and you're not activating your brain as much, and you're not. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this paragraph, but to develop a suicidal auto-amputation. I don't know if that's the amputation, but...
Yeah, that's the opposite, where like as a person, he's amputating himself from all that.
From technology.
I thought that meant the technology can someday amputate itself from us.
And like become, get rid of us?
It does kind of run amok anyway. Like sometimes it has its own chaos.
Yeah.
We depend on it so much. If a system goes down at the airport, everything physically stops because we depended on it so much. But I don't know the way around it. Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm not anti-technology.
Me neither. I like it.
I do too.
I get excited when there's like a new thing. I love technology.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how he feels about it.
It might not be an opinion.
Yeah.
This, to me, it is a development that suggests a desperate suicidal auto-amputation. I don't know. I guess the word desperate sounds judgmental. But, yeah.
Can I bring up one other quick thought on what you said before?
Yeah.
So you basically, you mentioned like you had this whole second chance and...
Yeah.
And you entered this whole new reality where everything went your way and you were going with the current and everything.
Yeah.
Do Do you think you'll still enter yet another reality in your life?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, if it doesn't turn out that way, I'm fine with that. But like, so I have to be appreciative that I had this second chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to be like, give me another one. If it happens, I should be so lucky. And if not, I've been very lucky.
How much of reality has stayed the same throughout these two realities?
My friends, my love of music, my choice in pants. Like I keep getting black pants. I did when I was in a band, it was black pants, these kind of jeans.
Yeah.
Black jeans. And then all the way through, every picture I see, I'm like, wow, I never gave that up.
Have you ever purposely tried to break it and see what happens?
A little bit, and it's a disaster.
It's probably like the smallest disaster ever.
Yeah, but it's really clear. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not meant to wear beige cargo pants.
Right.
It does not fit on my body. Does not work.
But that feels like the most benign use of the word disaster of all time.
Yeah, well,
It's a disaster.
I'll show you some pictures. Quotes.
Okay.
So are we doing one at a time?
Yeah, we do one at a time.
Language does for intelligence what the wheel does for the feet. It enables them to move with greater speed and ever less involvement. So who is this quote from?
These are all from Marshall.
Language does for intelligence what the wheel does for feet. Sure, I could see that. Like,
Yeah.
because you could be intelligent and not speak a language. You could be mute. You could be. So I guess that could still.
You speak several languages. Do you feel like the more you pick up language, the clearer an understanding you have of the world?
Only in some aspects, because there must be so much that I still don't understand. No matter how many languages I think I know.
Mm-hmm. But there must be words in some of the languages that you speak that there isn't a word for it in English, right?
Yeah, or vice versa. But the only time it ever turns into practical use is if I'm doing a crossword puzzle or like a trivia game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When I'm alone in a vehicle looking at a plant and if I know a different word for it, it doesn't really increase my intelligence. It's just, it's like, it's a little bit more information as to how people communicate with each other.
Because I always feel like when people know a lot of languages, then they're definitely smarter than me. I wonder if it's just a different kind of brain.
But there are languages that
Yeah.
even though they're not like physical languages, that you know more than other people.
Yeah.
Even if it's like learning how to operate this, that's a language.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Wait, in the electric age, we wear all mankind as our skin.
I kind of get that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the electric age is now.
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately made me think of Facebook, about just like how everybody becomes one. I scroll down Facebook and it's just like these little snippets of lives. Like all mankind and I are now connected. Within one little scroll, I've just seen little snippets of 40 people I know as life from today. I don't know, that's how it hits me.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Wow, these are pretty great. These are not simple little sayings.
Yeah. That's Alex. He does a great job with those.
There is no inevitability, so long as there is willingness to contemplate what is happening.
There's nothing is inevitable as long as you're
Like willing to
think about what
to realize what's going on. I feel like that's a saying that just kind of goes into itself. It's like, well, yeah. I see it as you can't see things as like destined to be if you could just make sense of it in the moment. I don't know. These are funny. These all have, to me, like, they all take a step back a little bit. They're not like, this is the right way. It's a little bit like, I feel like there's like hands off a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe that's why this guy was controversial. I didn't read why, but maybe it's like one of those things where he said stuff, but you're like, I don't know if what he said was good or not. But in the academic world, they're all like, he might be really onto something here.
Yeah.
He did come up with the internet, but I can't make heads or tails of any of this.
Boy, he's a deep guy.
I don't know.
Let's look at his name. Marshall McLuhan. Well, Marshall, we're talking about you today. So thank you. He died in 1980. He would have loved the internet.
Yeah. It's a shame he didn't get to stick around for that.
Yeah.
This is, I'll let you have that if you want.
Sure. You know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, it's got more stuff on him that we didn't get to, but...
Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say the same to you.